It appears as though beyond the people who are in the lower, hierarchy of the party, those who originally thought there was some levels of disunity because of various camps and all of that, even up there, now it is looking as though Dr. Bawumia will have to reach up there to try and bring people who are higher up of him. When I say higher up of him, I'm talking about maybe people like former President Akufo-Addo, former President J. Akufo, amongst others. These people may also be, there may be the need to unite people higher up of Dr. Bawumia in the party. National executives, functional executives, NEC, NEC, and all of that. All of that, it will be a difficult battle for Dr. Bawumia. But of course, we can only wish him well and wish the MPP well. But the journey, the real journey, starts now. The journey is just beginning. And from the speeches which were delivered as well, I was paying particular attention to those. Kennedy or Japan, and perhaps I should have us get into some of the speeches, and then we'll get an understanding as to. But I want to start it off with Kennedy Japan, and then we'll come back to the running mate conversation, because it's already started. Even though the party has other legs in terms of reorganization, they are now have to start from the, I don't know if the MPP does ward level, but the NDC, I know they do ward. So you start from ward to whatever, you climb up to constituency level, you come do regionals, and you do national as well. There's all of that which is up there for conversation and has people talking. But let's listen to Kennedy Ohene Japan speak after the elections, where he as well conceded defeat and pledged to be a part of the workings to ensure that the NPP returns to power come elections 2028. Just have a slight little problem of this machine not wanting to respond. But I want us to listen to him first, because when I was listening to him Saturday night, I put down just a brief part of what it is that he said, that views must be respected, irrespective of who has won. The part that interests me is the part he says that God will take care of you. You understand? And this was not what he told his supporters at his headquarters.
Right, okay.
So there was what he told his supporters. I didn't quite follow up on that. But when he mounted the podium to speak, he asked that views be respected as they go on into elections 2028, and depending on where you stand and what meaning it is that you want to
understand it differently.
You understand it differently.
Yeah? You can understand it differently.
Absolutely.
Views must be respected. It's either the views of the people who may not support you with the decisions you want to take. Respect those views as well. And then maybe views must be respected as in, to we the backbenchers now, let us respect the views of the people who speak for us.
Yeah, it could go either ways in truth and in all fairness. And so it could mean any of the two that you are alluding to. But I think we can listen to him now. No. What's this fresh challenge that we are having to encounter this morning?
But before he spoke after the declaration and everything.
Yeah.
When he was addressing his supporters, I think I loved that speech. He said that God will take care of all of you. When somebody asked him that, you're dashing a essay, no, they don't worry, God will take care
of you. Oh my goodness. So let's, I don't know.
The former President Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, the flag bearer elect Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, all the aspirants present, party chairman, general secretary, minority leader, chairman, the Council of Elders, and MPP party. I stand before you to pledge my support also to accept the results declared by EC. The delegates have spoken, and I want to plead with my supporters that they should stay calm and respect the results and help all of us to work together to win 2029 or 2028 election. I want to advise my supporters. First, I want to thank you, but I advise that in election, you can win and you can lose. So if you lose, you have to accept it in good faith. So let all of us throw our support to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the flag bearer. And all I say is, MPP, we need unity in the party. But unity comes with respect. We have to respect each other's views. That is all I want to say tonight. So congratulations to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and MPP. Thank you.
Thank you too, Kennedy Ohine Japan, asking that views be respected even as they build towards unity as well as a party. I want us to switch lanes and let's talk the NDC now. I mean, for the MPP, we have the entire length of time as well to get into it. And so
before we talk the NDC, let's talk more about the Miss prophecies on page 6 of the Daily Guide.
They took special interest in that, eh?
I missed my prophecy going for counseling, El Bernard. That's on page 6.
I'm just curious as to what counseling is, because I'm trying to understand what counseling would be when he says it's going for counseling.
So in his apology, he acknowledged his mistake, saying, I stated that Honorable Kennedy Japan would win the primaries and become the flag bearer of the MPP. That word did not come to pass. I missed it. I was wrong. I'm deeply sorry, and I ask for your forgiveness. He says he's stepping back for a season to focus on reflection, prayer, and strengthening accountability in his prophetic ministry. He emphasized that he is not abandoning his calling or ministry, but rather seeking to realign himself in growth, integrity, and discernment. In the same spirit of responsibility, I've decided to step back for a season from public preaching, teaching, and pulpit ministry. This is a deliberate and voluntary step to allow for reflection, prayer, counsel, and strengthening for accountability in how prophetic revelations are received, interpreted, and communicated. So that is it.
I think this has affected him greatly.
It has. I feel bad for him.
This has affected him greatly. To want to step aside, away from preaching and doing any other thing in terms of as a tough one.
It is.
I just want to understand what the counseling would be. Is it going to pray, ask?
I think he's taking it too hard on himself. I think so. I mean, we've had even prophecies for general elections. Go somewhere, go way south. And these people, they come to church the next day, and then it's like it didn't happen.
Yeah, do you have names or do you have names of the top of your head that you want?
There are plenty of them. In the 2024 elections, plenty people said the elections will go this way, they'll go that way. It did not happen. They are just moving on. I mean, the bottom line is they say they did not speak of their own accord. God told me to tell you that A will happen. If A did not happen,
that's God has changed his mind.
I was just saying what he has said.
Well,
that's just one of the conversations.
Yeah.
The bit two, the other end is about the need to. People are saying that it should be spoken to, it should be dealt with in a certain way. There's
dealt with in what way?
Ebonoa. People are likening this to Ebonoa, surprisingly. You know, Bonowa was arrested. They say
publication of. Is it publication of false news?
False news, fear and panic and all of those things. They say that he should also. Somebody was asking, is there a punishment for false prophecies? I just think that, I mean, Prophet Bernard El Bernard, he's a good prophet. He's a good man. He should.
I can understand when he takes it hard on himself. Means he has high expectations of himself, and so would I mean for on a score like that, I will understand. But yeah, it's a tricky slope. It's a very tricky slope in terms of where this leaves him and the work that he's been doing or he's done up until this point, because he took this very seriously. He actually wrote a book all in relation to
it almost every week, because almost every week people will insult him for that, and then he was responding to the insult, not with insults though, but with emphasis that he keeps getting more revelations, more visions about what appeared to be the victory for Kennedy Japan that did not happen. In fact, the day before the elections, he put on his Facebook that around jubilates, he sees the sound of victory and all of that, but I mean, it still didn't happen. But Prophet Bernard, I mean, forget everybody. You was forget them.
So I'm gonna do the NDC bit. The new publisher story is by Cephas Labi. Internal tension appears to be surfacing within the NDC as a member of the party's communication team. Hamza Suini has warned the General Secretary Fifi Fiavikwete against public remarks he believes could harm the party's prospects in the 2028 general elections. Hamza Suini expressed concern that some recent public utterances by Mr. Kwete, including references to party members as sycophants, risk deepening internal conflicts and undermining party unity. At a press conference last Thursday, Mr. Kwete announced that all 7 government appointees will be disqualified from contesting for party executive positions unless they resign from their posts. He further stated that any appointee intending to vie for a party position must step down at least 6 months before filing nomination forms. Reacting to the announcement during a discussion, Mr. Suini said he was troubled by the tone and implications of the General Secretary's comments, and these are exact quotes from him. I am extremely worried that inasmuch as I respect his desire to have a working party, his utterances need to be measured in a way that does not in the future hurt the fortunes of the party. He said. He added that while Mr. Kwete is known for his firm stance in defending the principles of the NDC, party members equally have the right to express their views openly. I think that those of us who are also known to be publicly campaigning for him in conformity with those democratic principles are free to speak our minds on this matter. One of the principles I hold dear as a party member is never to be cowed into submission when it comes to my beliefs, Mr. Suini stated. He also referenced earlier remarks by the General Secretary, which he said could breed mistrust within both the party and government, citing a statement made by Mr. Kwete in Kumasi suggesting that some party members were lobbying to protect members of the NPP. Is there a different version of that story or of the cracks within the NDC?
It's basically the same thing, that the NDC has been thrown into a fresh internal uncertainty following a controversial directive by its National Executive Committee barring 7 government appointees from contesting party executive positions unless they resign at least 6 months before filing the nominations. The directive communicated by the General Secretary targets a wide range of politically appointed officials currently serving under JDM's administration: ministers, deputy ministers, municipal chief executives, metropolitan chief executives, as well as chief executive officers, managing directors, and their deputies across state institutions. However, the next decision provides exemptions for board chairpersons and board members who are not considered full-time executive appointees and therefore are not subject to the resignation restriction. Party sources indicate that the directive introduced clear resignation deadlines for aspiring contestants within the 2026 internal election calendar. So there's a justification, but those remarks, along with other recent statements attributed to the General Secretary, have become a major source of discontent
and confusion within the NDC. Hamza Suhini, a member of the party's communications team, cautioned Fifi Kwete to be more measured in his utterances, warning that such rhetoric could damage the party's cohesion and weaken its prospects ahead of the 2028 elections. He argued that while reforms and discipline is necessary, the language being used by the party's top leadership risks alienating influential stakeholders, particularly government appointees who remain central to the party's national mobilization strategy. So the essence of the conversation, of the messaging is still the same. His concerns were triggered by what he described as a parting of controversial messaging from the General Secretary in last week. So apart from the greed remarks tied to the resignation directive, Fifi Kwete also reportedly dismissed calls for former President Mahama to seek an additional term.
Yeah, that's when he described them as sycophants, right?
Yeah, so they say he should watch his words. That's what they're saying.
But in general, there's a comment about the prophecy and all that. I'll show it to you later on. That one we can't share. But good morning to Mr. Makafu, who is doing the listening, and to all of you as well who are tuned in this morning here on the 3FM Sunrise. You know, people have been talking, and like you said, you were seeing a lot of the conversations on Facebook. I was seeing a lot of the conversations on Twitter. Opinions are split. That look, this is not going to go well for the party. You can't let them leave government and come and contest, and it could affect the reset agenda. Then someone also comes and say, you can't look into a bottle with two. You can't look into two bottles with two eyeballs, and so you have to.
Bottle with two eyes.
So you have to choose. And
you want to mention this man's name, Baba Jamal's name or something. You want to say good morning to him.
Oh, good morning to Baba Jamal as well.
He's High Commissioner, Ghana's High Commissioner to Nigeria.
Yeah.
And he wants to become MP.
So he has to look into one bottle.
They say that he's looking into one bottle.
You know, that question was...
This is different. I mean, he was not appointed by the NDC.
Well, he will have to come down to contest. Once he doesn't resign, because I don't know if this directive affects...
No, it does not.
Him. I don't think it does. These are for the executive positions.
Party executive position. It does not affect him.
Yeah.
He's
fine. He will be fine. But in general, that's the position. Because, and let's mention names, because right now, inarguably, one of the best communicators the NDC has had in recent years in terms of the work that's been done for them in the lead up to the 2024 general election, Sami Jimfi, right?
Yes.
He is a national communications officer.
Yes.
He is the CEO of Gold Board.
He's not coming back to the NDC as comms officer, is he?
You and I do not know.
Per this directive, he cannot come.
No, it means if he wants to still be a national executive, you have to step aside, resign from the position of CEO of the Gold Board.
Well,
and so then there is George Opariado, he's a national youth organizer who's a Minister for Youth Development.
Yes.
There is Osman Ayarega, who's deputy youth organizer. Rashid Tanko Computer is a deputy director. Yes. There is Ruth Delacedo, who is the National Service Authority boss. Malik Basintali, who is deputy National Communications Officer, who is the YEA boss. There is Mustafa Gbande, who is a deputy general secretary at the presidency as well. And there is, if you go into the regions, the secretary of the NDC in the Ashanti region is a regional minister. The secretary in the Volta region is a regional minister. The secretary, I think, in the northern region as well is the National Lotteries Authority boss.
Oh, there.
Yes.
In the western region, I think YEA boss is a youth organizer for the western region electoral area. Yes.
So you get it. So even on the national level, you have quite a number. The regional levels, I think almost all the regions, persons have been appointed into government. When you go into the constituency level as well, you have government appointment. And so it could pretty much see either a resignation in one huge front to come and stay within the party, or we'll see a lot of those guns move out and new persons will get into the positions.
Let's take a step back and then try to understand why he said what he said, the thinking behind this directive. So according to the report, he's trying to say that people should not be greedy and they should not use state resources to come and do their own campaigns. It gives them undue advantage over the others who may not have resources of the state available to them to run their campaign. So that is one thing that he is seeking to solve. The other bit is to give opportunities to other people, because they say nyanse ni baako for chim. So if you are a party supporter, you are an executive of the party, and then you have another appointment, it does not mean that you are the only person who can do what you're doing in the party. There are people who can do what you're doing even better. So that is one of the things he wants to solve. So I'm seeing two things here: to stop the bit about using the state resources and then giving opportunities to other people. Now, well, that being said, what then becomes the best way to solve or to provide the solutions that he wants to provide? What then becomes the alternative way for the party to ensure that people who are serving as appointees do not take undue advantage of their office to impact the campaigns they are running? Is it the only way that they should stop, they should resign so that they don't do it, or there's another way they can go about it? I don't know. And then the second thing too is there another way to encourage people or to make the playing field very fair, that people who are not in government positions but can contribute to the party also come into the elections? I think these two are the main reasons why he issued that statement.
But on the second point about persons coming in to contribute, one of the conversations have been that when they leave, then the party will lose very strong persons. I don't think any of these officers, if they choose to remain with the government in terms of serving the government, will stay idle during the election period and not campaign.
Oh, no, they will. Even if they don't come forward themselves, they'll be backing candidates. They'll be, unless that's not what you mean.
No, I mean on the ground campaign. In 2024, what a lot of people did not know was that Giorgio Pareado was in almost every constituency.
Yes.
He was in every constituency, not almost every constituency. Yes. He was in every constituency as a matter of fact.
Only NDC youth organizer.
Exactly. So then they asked the question, can he do that again in 2028?
It will not serve his best interests as minister to do that in 2020.
That's why it's always difficult when you're in government.
Yes.
Being in opposition, look, all the time is with you to campaign.
Now he can misuse all the resources available.
Yeah, and they'll come after you when you misuse it. That's what I stand strongly on.
To stop. That's what that's what the party wants to stop. Don't carry money from. I'm just using Operator as an example. Yeah. Don't carry money from the youth ministry to come and do your personal campaign to still maintain your position as an executive in the NDC. That is what they are trying to stop. Maybe the communication bit, like people are saying, but I mean it's pure greed. You are eating some. Let somebody eat some. You say you don't like that. You have used the word greed. You're not greed, Marina. You are somebody. Goodness. You are an appointee.
You're on government's payroll.
You are chopping some.
Yeah.
But I want to still come and chop the party on some. Is it not greed? They say you should have used what?
The person says he wants to work. He can work the two. You have an issue with the work.
So we'll leave them like that.
Well,
there's a story that I want us to touch on. I don't know the details.
Just before you run, eh?
Yes. Controller withholds salaries of 2,563 government workers. It's on page 3 of the paper. So, Control and Accountant General's Department suspended the January salaries of the number of workers for their failure to participate in the mandatory nationwide headcount exercise. In a statement issued on Friday and signed by the head of public relations, the department confirmed that while the majority of staff on the national payroll had received their salaries, the payment for the affected individuals had been withheld. This action was taken based on a formal recommendation from the Auditor General. The headcount conducted across ministry, department, and agencies was designed to verify and clean the government payroll. Employees who did not take part in the verification exercise have now had their salaries suspended. It says that all affected personnel to immediately contact the Ghana Audit Service to verify their employment status and complete the required clearance protocols. Only upon completion of this process will their salaries be reinstated. The department reiterated its commitment to upholding the principles of transparency, accountability in public financial management, assuring the public of its dedication to ensuring timely and legitimate salary payments in line with existing laws and regulations. So if you're among the 2,563, they say that go to the Auditor General, go and let them count you.
No, I know a colleague journalist who appears to be a part with GBC. I think Doreen. I saw her.
She was not there when they were doing the head count.
She said she was there. She's been counted, and yet the excuse being given to her is that she wasn't there when they were counting.
You have to shout 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, so that passes by.
All right.
That's it.
Yeah. A few more shout outs to a couple of individuals as well. Unfortunately, we had a bit of a challenge in being able to stream this morning. That is being rectified, and then we'll be back on stream. Let me say a good morning to Jonathan Otu and all of the staff at the UPSA clinic. I was there somewhere Friday on my mini rendezvous. in returning to work. Yes. So a huge good morning to them as well. And as always, very ardent listeners. Jean-Baptiste Hayeje as a private legal practitioner as well, who listens to us very, very. It's an ardent listener, I must say as well. Nice. And so we're appreciative of all of you, Corporal Mikado and a host of others who listen in every day, whether it be you, me, Johnny, whoever it is who's seated here. The persons who are always tuned in.
Yeah. But this morning I've had some good news from Esnam Loretta, and I want to say special good morning to her, and that she makes good on her word. She's also an ardent listener.
Fantastic.
Yes, fantastic. Very fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll leave the questions for later. That's my colleague, Noble Crosby, and co-host here on the 3FM Sunrise. We'll get into your calls because I see the phone lines are buzzing already. 055, I didn't even mention numbers. What? 055-924-2717, 055-924-2717, as well as 055-691-0154, 055-691-0154. Those are the numbers by which you can be a part of us in terms of sharing your thoughts with us on the many subject matters we've been discussing. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Abata.
Yes, sir. Good morning to you. I trust that you're well. Happy New Month to you. Talk to us. By God's grace, I'm well. Talk to us. I think committee.
NDC as a political party, and the kind Obia and Raho, Obia about 20 people or more Koya and so on. You're going to register to her. You're going to be my at order. I wipe a day about joining him, bra. Ever more card, not about joining him. Then there, a memoir MP for Bui. One as a candidate. I can get a catch about me about mayor or trophy. And oil trophy. Yes, look, the year 2028 elections, you know. Yabaka Trobia, Odia, who went people, then this and the yes, I'm more congratulations, or Mokotua, at least for the first time. obian job basic and another obian way accident go no.
Thank you very much as well. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Open. You can see what to say.
By God's grace, I'm well.
I monitor me. I need to shaman not Mr. Brown Forest Commission. Open. You better excellency gentleman, Mahama, and this because of a mamu papa whoop. Then MPP 4 years, Dr. Mahmoud Ramani, and so be in the so on one of the back. You will be son. All I know, and nay, or no, and can at the same. I did it and press so all the fund 40 to 20 pesos. When me and Chinese now, not on a good 17 CD. Petro, a good see saying. There may be some, but look at that, 12 million, and what him fat.
Thank you as well for calling. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello. Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Mawena Egbeta. How was your holiday?
Oh, it was brief and quite exciting. We're
thank God for you
that we've returned. Yeah.
Once again, we welcome you for hearing your voice again. Eben in Kwabenya speaking.
Eben, it's good to have you join us. Talk to us this morning.
Anyway, let me say good morning to my MP, Honorable Elipu Maklugu, this morning. Also, East MCE, Honorable Agu, for the yeoman job doing. He has really shown what is there to work for Kwabenya and East environment. Also, the incoming chairman, Dedewa Chenche. He will help the MP to maintain the seat in the Kwabenya. You see, for me, I'm not surprised at all. But me, I won. But I'm happy that was 60-something% has been reduced to what? To 56 point something. And kudos to Musa Dankwa for his prediction. Because we all know that for him, he worked with what? Science and data. And so far, he stands tall among all the predators. And God richly bless him. He should continue doing the yeoman job to support Mother Ghana. And for me, I'm happy for one thing. That was a defeat is staring at Baumia. Because see, what at all will he campaign on it? Because me, I believe that was how His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, may God richly bless him, and the Chief of Staff and the Vice President as well, how they have started. Look at how they have managed our economy. As we are talking, this February, another window price is coming. Fuel will reduce. And you see, I believe that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is in to set a good legacy for this country. Okay? So, Baumia, although you won your primary, because you are where you win, most of the delegates believe that you are the one they will vote for. But it's just unfortunate. Some prophets involved in this, and now people are just lambasting them here and there. I'm sad for them. So, defeat is staring at you. Come what may, you once again hand over to what? Once again, lose to what? NDC.
Thank you. Thank you as well, Eben in Kwabenya. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, sir.
Eben Leko, Kwabenya. Aziz Doniswaba.
Aziz, let's hear you.
Yeah, that's in Ejumafa. Yeah, few.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to be back, and it's good to hear from you as well, Aziz. Yeah.
But my main chairman only MCE. Onona Eben Lekano, Papa no only Mwejuma na me excellency di man say ombeye oye Juma ne pepe ya me enshira no pa Honorable Agu. And incoming chairman. The dewa. Papa you are Yami Enshra no Kesi na Oma Onyinche Ediama and I'm only MP Honorable Elikuri Akurugu. And I called me the okay man with them come assembly. You say me pato. If anything, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia on ya o Ghana. It's Ghana name the obet nyaye. Ghana for name on the subai. But the answer I made that NPP fast in the this time no omo disconnect. Omu minister omabe di omawe but candidate no mo di ba no su no a onye onipa okan no kore e da kire Ghana because wa be ye bida ye ne mo nti some person omu di omawe so a omu be pa Ghana fortune ananso because ahoma so no e ya do so do omu be see no omu be pa so dia o ma ye mistake o omu fi se di omu ye no a enu anu no Canada Japan what you need the papa we atema mo ti on jane falata o ti ni jane falata that mean it still no condition was for the DM that's the next round.
Thank you as well for calling. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you, boss?
I'm doing well. What about you?
By the grace of Almighty. I'm called Great Alaye from Dominican Beach.
Great Alaye, it's good to have you call us. Share your thoughts with us as well this morning.
So someone here will feed you. My mentia the incoming. Follow who knows road. That was Dominican Beach constituency chairman. Mr. Osman Ashak, alias AKA Didiwa, Oba, a chairman. That was Dominican Beach constituency. Onuna, friend, follow who knows road. Share NPP4. The Dawbase, so Omar Nya Kunya, Akoto, Omo Canopin, about one. Because Omo net me set wonders. Seven friends who haircut, Omutime haircut Nina. Mahmoud Bamia Omuko Ye, said the impressor, and yet say you name the history, and now or Yahoo Homa in this. That's in America, one can over do hard dance here. Or Jinaya, the whole Ghana for Nima catches, so what $2 ama, unlocking with them with the key ama, IGP some fine share on Panto. You inquire. Dollars in Konya before you go on no than 17 cities. That Mahama Najima Pane as Madia Obeya, Nene executives, CEOs, Azuma Ombeya, and almost $5 in Asamba police station in Abel Locono. I'm a sister or Dasuda or you could deny them. Empty. You don't want to. So when you know about identity, that they say, well, when it's here, also umbejin and what here and Sanko.
Thank you very much as well for calling. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Honorable Mawana Ebeta.
Yes, sir.
This is Bright calling from Abusokai.
Bright and Abusokai, it's good to have you call us, talk to us as well this morning.
I thank you. I'm also happy to hear your voice this morning. May God continue to guide you and protect you.
Amen.
Let me, Honorable Alaji Yakundo, my member Nabasu Papa, Tama, or what a demand man for economy office or no. One day, we share the pa, a call Honorable Alaji officer. So, over now, attending to be a Nami Ensha Papano. Now, Omana on the any quantity, Honorable Peter T. and Honorable Alaji Raouf and Honorable Chamava. May God continue to guide them and protect them. Everybody knows Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, MPP for Ebesako to Abama, on the February 2028. By there were questions with Bria, the big decide Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. Because Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, a vice president, 8 years now, or from Ghana for Nyama Bebri, Eba Agbogblosi, the basic toilet, the rear, you see bathroom at the account, Palugu Dam, you see Palugu Dam, you won't be the Palugu Dam no, $1 at the Ama IGP, or Muko position, not dollar, 17 cedi. Sky train, our Muti Musika, PDS, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, and 2028 there. You want to send the Brea, you better say Bisano. I mean, GDO Ghana for Ghana for 2028, no. On Bema Dr. Mahmoud Baumia, 28%. That's it.
Right. Thank you very much as well for calling. Another caller is already with us on the phone lines. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, my brother. This is Haja Alima, the freedom fighter from Madrid.
Haja, let's hear you as well. Share your thoughts with us.
Thank you. Let me say a very big good morning and kudos to Alhaji Abdul Razak of National Security. Because, you see, the man, God bless him. We are very, very, very happy with the way the security of this country is being handled since they took off office. Today, for nothing. You can see that policemen are, our security men are refused right from doing wrong things. It is because of how our national security is being handled in this country. Today, we have free of a patron in this country and everywhere. We thank God for that. My brother, about Baumia, it is not a news for me to say Baumia go to primaries and win. How can't he win? So you understand, if your uncle says he's building a house for you, but he's starting from the roofing, you have to know, why is he starting from the roofing? Common sense will not take this thing. You start building from the roofing, number one. NPP have shown us clearly that they don't have any men that they thought of, because bringing Baumia is telling me that you are bringing these same people. Next time, if by mistake Ghanaians handle the country into your hands, the people you are going to bring is those pajamas function fair ministers. The ministers of state who are to handle our security were not able to know that this conversation that I'm doing with a little girl, showing her my pajamas, walking around.
Right. Thank you as well for calling. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mawena.
Yes, sir. I trust that you're well.
Yes, I am. Your side.
By God's grace, I'm also doing well.
Okay. My greetings to all your colleagues at the studio and Johnny Hughes. And we also thank God for bringing you back again. I'm Ben from New Achimota.
Ben in New Achimota, it's good to hear
yes,
from you.
For Baumia being re-elected as NPP flag bearer, I'm not surprised. Yeah, because those who voted for him the year 2023, they were the same people who voted for him again this 2026. So for me, I'm not surprised. Yeah, if they should have follow the normal procedure, and Kabame will sure not become the winner of this election anyway. So me, I don't have any problem. They should bring the weak one again, and NDC will be at the right side to defeat them. But I want to speak about the prophet who said Kennedy Japan will win, who you couldn't. You see, God does not lie. That is a fact. God does not lie. And God has made it clear in the Bible that by their fruits we shall know them. By their fruits we shall know them. Thank you very much.
Thank you as well, Ben, for calling. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Rubel.
Mr. what?
This is Ajana One from Government Kwabinga.
Ajana One, it's good to have you call us. Talk to us as well this morning.
Thank you. Sorry, I missed your name, Mr. Bawena Mbeka. Yes, sir.
That's fine.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much for the wonderful job you are doing for Mother Ghana and media generation from as well. Good morning to Mr. Osman of Government Kwabinga and Godwin Mahama, whatever it is, and my MC and my MP. In fact, nobody should blame the prophet that is saying that Kennedy will win. Because what about if the elections have been manipulated? You cannot see it. If the elections have been manipulated from up to down, all the executives have been compromised to even manipulate the elections for Muhammadu Buhari, and no one can stop. So what he has said, he didn't come out. And very soon we all know that things will come out. He will fish out. So that's the benefit of the doubt. And also, in fact, let's go let's congratulate them. At least they have a successful election. But we are waiting for them 2028. We know we will also come with a wonderful, strong candidate. Thank you.
Thank you as well for calling. Hello, good morning.
Eric, good morning.
Yes, sir.
Eric, this is Annan, your brother, Sapperman.
Annan and Sapperman, it's good to have you call us. I trust that everything is well with you.
Oh, by God's grace, we are doing well.
Great. Talk to us as well this morning.
Eric, let me greet your main John. Tell him that it's been a while that we hear from him, so at least he has rest more, he should come back. Johnny, this one, let me greet Honorable Mahdi Jibril. He has done wonderful thing that I can't even mention it. God bless him. The Honorable Kwesi Ashama. Last weekend, our MPP also did their voting. And we thank God that we didn't hear anything bad news. And then it went smoothly.
although they have re-elected Baumia, former vice president, again, but we are praying that he will come and concede a big defeat more than what he experienced last year. So we welcome him again. Thank you.
Right, thank you as well. Anan, hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mawina.
Yes, sir. I trust that you're well.
Oh, I'm doing great. So welcome back.
I'm doing well too. Thank you very much. Mr. Shak?
Yeah. Say Shak.
Say Shak. Oh, okay. Talk to us. Say Shak in
Kabinyan. To yourself, Johnny, wherever he is, and the entire team, Ellen. And also, I'm greeting our MP, Johnny Kabinyan, and also the MP and the incoming chairman, Gedewa Chenche. Wherever he is, this morning we say big thank you for yesterday what you did for us. Mawina, he say, Dipa unimu anopano, edu nyuma unso kane mwa tini nini. Baumia is already new to us as a leader. So we don't care. We in the NDC, we are waiting for him to come. You see, governance is about you coming to what? Govern in the interest of the people. He, as a vice president, when he had 8 years, what did he do for us? And do you know that they influenced the elections with money? Massively. All the three camps. And some people even voted against Ken because the money that he gave out did not reach the delegates.
Oh, these are things. These are things. You and me. Are you a delegate of the? Are you a delegate of the NPP?
I'm not a delegate, but the people on X. You said you were talking about X this morning. They're on X. I didn't say it. There was a woman who was saying that no, the money that was given was 1,500 Ghana cedis. They give them only 600 Ghana cedis. So because of that, he didn't vote for the candidate. If they are there, if I can find the videos to your platform.
Right, I'll be glad to see some of them.
I'll do that. So an election that has been influenced and muddied by money. I'm pleading delegates in this country. You see, you serve a critical role and purpose in Ghana elections. When you go and vote and you take money to vote, do you know what you are doing? When that person comes, the person is not going to do any better development. We are pleading. The way our elections are being monetized is too much. We are pleading again, NPP, give us a better opposition. But what you are doing there is not wrong. I want to have a good morning.
Thank you very much for calling as well. Hello, good morning. I think I'll do two more callers and then I'll wrap it up. SK, it's good to have you call us. Talk to us this morning.
Thank you so much for the opportunity accorded me to be on your network. 92.7, 3FM. But please work on your network properly so we may get a much better reception.
Absolutely. It's something that we will do for you.
What I intend talking about this morning is that who should destroy our economy and who should come and fix it and who should come back and destroy it again? Where is our former finance minister? You see, NPP should be questioning themselves or should be asking themselves this question. And I will advise that the good materials that are left in NPP, they should defect. They should rather defect and find some better parties and join. Because Ghanaians are not ready to hand over their mandate to destroyers of our economy. Again, let me say that false prophet who labeled himself as a true prophet, already the Bible has exposed it. So Ghanaians should be wide awake and know people to go to and seek God's leading. Today, God has spoken through his Son, our Lord Jesus Christ. There's no one individual as a prophet yet to be speaking to this country. The one who speaks is in our heart. That is right. Listen to his speaking or his voice and will be a right servant of God. Thank you very much.
Thank you as well for calling, SK. Final caller for the morning. Maybe I could sneak in one more person. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Trust that you're well.
I'm doing great this morning. Mauna, this is Claude calling from Jenupon Katamanso. And I don't pay the young my Wafide Cassie, 3FM. Mamencia Chief Honorable Eric Kupuku. So what me I bought Jumapa ama aduane abɔ ɔman mu na asomdwie nso abɔ ɔman because ɔman bi aduane nim no basabasa esi ɔman no mu anya bi MPP fo anya bi edi ama ɔma akɔyɛ ɔmo rally aba akɔto ɔmo aba na maka ne saa no so ma mencha me boss baako dela edem minerals commission the bibi obi a uncle dela anya me nhira onye okese na chairman Joe mauna se yasi nya wunim na no pa na edu na adwo aye nso kanea enhwe nanim yenim se omo ye den ade na omo search dada e de ato ho se ba umia na eba entini ya de na enye ye bibia ye different bia because ba umia na over 1,000 times ye ba blow 1,000 times we are going last time election when you 38.2 or so we have man 15 Baumia be ground near the NDC branch member Franco Grawa obey defeat Baumia and I don't pay Mamin here honorable TK Ayapon Katamasu Mayor and Chairman Joe Ashama or call for communication officer Ashama for Monshana Montomano na Joe Obomono Homodin Midase.
Thank you as well for calling. Final caller, you can do that for me in 2 minutes so that Mutala will get on with sports. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
I trust that you're well.
Yeah. Mariana, how are you?
I'm well.
By the grace, I'm also doing fine. I'm Rose, Queen of the Airways, Ashama, Lebanon.
Rose, it's good to have you call us. Talk to us just briefly.
Thank you, my brother. Let me say good morning to my dad, Honorable Danamate Mensa, Sports and Harbour Director, Lawyer Zuma, then my FC, Honorable Freeman Chepu. Many of them, MPP for the Baumiabo, Woman Fanambo, Ghana for any ready. Sisia Emma Baumia. Because Baumia, any another Danko Akufar, when I'm a for 8 good years. Our Mojo, my Ghana, Echo, and we him, the Ghana Echo Health. At the team of Bray, I have filmed for 8 good years. Now, the delegate to committee and say, yes, would you need 3 times? Ghana for the Huni Mobile Metua Manu. Sergeant Ghana, you be breaking, NBC never breaking. So, about Namu in about 3 times since Ghana for the Huni Mobile Metua Manu. And Ghana had you. Usha Memu Papa, he said, Celeste John Ramani Mahama, Ebu. Message you say, Celeste John Ramani Mahama, on Koduma. Dealing about NBC ticket is so Ghana for the Twabamano. Party by the president for Ghana. And I could find an SRD studio. Ghana for to end the mistake that. And to make other I said, you know, that the only that dia or then we need 2028 ama NBC because NBC will power.
Thank you. Thank you as well for calling in and being a part of this morning's show. We will get into sports now. Mutala Yakubu is here with the very latest from the world of sports. And it was a weekend of the evil twins winning by the same score line. And when I say the evil twins, I mean Manchester United and Chelsea. They cannot they cannot stay away from repetition in terms of the result of each other. And so we saw Chelsea do a comeback and win 3-2. United, they were leading 2-0 and then they conceded and then they decided to score in the last minute and end the game as well, 3-2. But City dropped points again, and I dreamt Arsenal won the league though. And so perhaps I'll have to begin to concede that they will win the league.
For what the rest of the pack are doing, it's clear that Arsenal would go on and win the league. City dropped point. Aston Villa
lost
at home. And the gap between Manchester United, Liverpool, Chelsea, and Arsenal is too wide. It's Arsenal's title
to lose. I mean, it's theirs to lose.
If they lose this title, then they might as well curse themselves for losing this. And you know the funny thing, all the other teams are doing everything possible for Arsenal to win. That is the funny thing. Manchester City, Aston Villa, Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester, they are all doing everything possible to let us now win. We are like, Charlie, this one, take it and go. But Arsenal have been fumbling here and there. But this weekend,
until this weekend, they hadn't won in 3 games.
Yeah, they bounced back to win against
4 goals to nil.
It's good for them. They still have a very healthy lead. They just need to keep going because we are in about match day 23. Just a few games to end the season. And
23 means we're doing 38. So 23 means we have about 13 more games
to go. And it's
no 15 more games.
15 games actually.
15 more
15
games.
solid games to go. And within
it's just 6 points.
Yeah,
15 games.
15 games they would play Chelsea at home.
A lot can happen.
They are done with Manchester United. They will play Manchester City as well. I mean, City have not been too good.
They haven't been good. I think Guardiola. I don't know.
Well,
perhaps
the very
after
moment,
10
for
years.
me, the very moment Kevin De Bruyne departed the club, I told people it was going to have a telling effect on them.
But the defense has not been good.
And most of the goals they scored came from Kevin De Bruyne, but the defense has been terrible this season. It's not as if they are still not scoring. Erling Haaland has scored about 20 goals.
He's on 20 goals
this season out of 23 matches. But the defense...
Igor Thiago is on 16.
The defense has been terrible.
Yeah,
they've got in Gehi. He just came, but it's still not solved that crack at the back. And I think Guardiola would accept that this season the title is just gone. But it's Arsenal's to lose. We want them to win, but they are also telling us, no, the rest of the
as in terms of the performance, it suggests they are trying to say that we win it.
But they are saying, hey, are you people sure you want us to win?
He left to me alone. They don't know.
No, you don't have any team challenging them. That is the reality. There are years where, even though they will lead about 6-7 points, you still have that belief that Manchester City could catch up with them. But this is not the case. This season, City has been terrible.
But United could though.
It's too late. Honestly, United should be fighting for top 4. You know why?
On a 15-game run,
United,
the top pack will be stretched getting to the end of the season.
Very sure.
Arsenal have a big game coming up against Chelsea in the Carabao Cup semi-finals.
Yeah.
They will play...
That is tomorrow.
Oh, it's tomorrow actually. They will play in the Champions League. They have the FA Cup. That same pack. And Arteta has shown that he doesn't trust the rest of the team like he does in the starting 11.
Arsenal would sacrifice everything they have to win the Premier League.
No, I'm not sure of it.
I am sure of that.
I'm not sure of it. You know why? Because he's tried it in previous years where he sacrificed other competitions for the league and they still bottled it.
So now this is the case. The Champions League is one of...
They want to win the Champions League.
No, this is an Arsenal side. You know the English, and you know how much pride they hold when it comes to the English Premier League. They value that Premier League title. They've not won the title since 2003. And they've been mocked, they've been teased by rivals and all that. They've had several opportunities of coming close, and they've not been able to win it. They would sacrifice every blood they have to win that Premier League title again.
That's what I'm saying, that United... No. Let's
United have won 3 games on the bounce since Carey came in the Premier League, but I don't think they can keep up that consistency till the end of the season.
A game every week.
I mean, we saw them under Ruben Amorim. A game every week, and they still fought it.
Yeah, but Carragher's a magic one.
A game every week against Fulham, and they almost fought it. It's not as if United are not good. They found a new life. They are playing with more.
They found a way to win.
But the thing is, Arsenal are not dropping their guards.
They were dropping their guards until they are
when it comes to the likes of Wolverhampton Wanderers, West Ham, Arsenal would get the job done against them.
Even
against the big boys.
I'm not challenging that.
Even against the big boys like Chelsea.
Who have Arsenal beaten through and through in terms of the big boys this season?
This season they drew with Chelsea. They lost against Liverpool.
They lost to Manchester United.
They drew against Manchester City. They lost against Manchester. Okay, they beat Manchester United in the first leg, 1-0 at Old Trafford. Then
that was a United that wasn't.
Yeah, that was the first game of the. I think there's the first game of the season.
Or second game of the season. If I'm not mistaken.
It was early in the season.
But the teams as outside of Spurs, which is Spursy, Which of the teams have they outrightly been able to beat?
You know, the biggest problem is not even with Arsenal. The problem is not with Arsenal.
There is the others.
The
really.
problem is the
others.
It's not even Arsenal. Arsenal can drop points, but are the others going to catch up? Manchester City cannot beat Tottenham Hotspur. Arsenal, when it comes to Tottenham Hotspur, they always find a way of winning against them.
So will Arsenal struggle not to beat some other teams?
Well, let's see. But for me, I'm 100% sure that Arsenal will win.
I don't. Like I said, I dreamt they won.
It will be extremely difficult.
I dreamt
with the
they
likes
won.
Of Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, all in there.
I dreamt they won, but I would rather have them not win.
Yeah,
and noise would be too much.
I would rather not prophesy.
No, please don't. I beg you. I just said I dreamt. I didn't say I saw it in
prophecy.
I'm not saying like
God didn't reveal to you.
No, I beg you.
Okay.
I beg you.
Why are you trying to? I'll be back on. God didn't reveal anything to you.
I said I dreamt they won.
So you are now Joseph.
And I'm praying they don't win. That's the thing I'm saying.
God revealed to me that Arsenal win. I mean, if it doesn't happen, I just issue an apology. What is the big difference?
Charlie, come and do sports.
Let's now do some sports here on 3FM Sunrise. My name is Mutala Yakubu. Coming up this morning, Ghana Premier League match day 21 is done and dusted with Asante Kotoko and Mediema all losing in their respective games. And in the Australian Open, Carlos Alcaraz has won. The youngster is making waves. Let's now settle for the details and start off from the domestic front with the match day 21 of the Ghana Premier League, where Heartfolk's title ambitions have slowed on the tracks after they settled for a point in the goalless draw against Bechem United. That is yesterday. The Phobians are in the top four with 36 points, but still have a long way to catch up with league leaders Mediema, who have 43 points. For Bechem United, they have slipped from 10th to 11th on the league table. Following the goalless draw, coach of Bechem United, Kobena Misa, explained his strategy to hold Accra to Folk and gain a point.
I think you know me. This is not the first time I've seen you. And you were at Media Matakwa, and you saw we came with a certain strategy so that we can hold them at least at the point and go. It's a strategy. You know, when you are able to absorb the pressure from the opponent, who are thinking they will score the goal. So, being that they all set forward, because they know we are defending, but they don't know that it's a strategy. That's why we sometimes break through and for goal scoring opportunity. But unfortunately for us, we couldn't put the ball to the net.
Meanwhile, coach of the Phobians, Didi Dramani, found the result disappointing and found his players lacking initiative and intensity.
I think that it's still not too good, because if you say you want to put pressure on the league leaders, then you need to be winning matches. We need to be winning matches. We don't look consistent, and for me it's very, very worrying. And we need to keep some certain levels of standards. And I think that it's so hard to understand that you don't dominate in that manner, and then you don't make attempts. I think we're very irresponsible in that.
That is the coach of Heartfolk, Didi Dramani. Elsewhere, Nations FC pulled off a stunning comeback victory to end league leaders Mediema's 123-day unbeaten run, thanks to captain Razak Simpson's brace. In what was the reverse outcome of the first round clash, Black Stars defender Simpson stole the show with to secure a 2-1 victory for his side. Now let's hear from both Mediema's head coach Ibrahim Tanko, who was disappointed with the results.
I think after the first goal, definitely we allowed them to take every ball, second balls, all the second balls they won. So, and the pressure was too high, and I don't know why, but I mean, this is a game. Anyhow, you are going to lose a game, but I think here is very painful.
Painful one for Mediema. Nations FC's Frimpong Manso attributed the victory to hard work, stating that they needed this result to boost their morale in the remainder of the season.
No, I think you can see the atmosphere around the stadium. I think we needed these points, and I think we worked very hard for it. It's not something that came by chance. We worked very hard for the win.
That is Frimpong Manso, the head coach of Nations FC. Asante Kotoko head coach Karim Zito has considered that his side squandered a golden chance to narrow the gap on league leaders Mediema SC following their defeat to Heart of Lions. The Porcupine Warriors were beaten 3-1 by Lions at Kwando Sports Stadium on Saturday in match day 21 of the Ghana Premier League. The loss came on the back of Mediema's 2-1 defeat to Nations at the Dr. Kwame Chase Sports Complex, a result that has opened the door for Kotoko to make up the grounds for the title, but they failed to do so.
I miss it. Seriously, I miss it. That's why I told you I wasn't expecting this result now, because to be honest with you, in terms of preparation, we prepare well. We prepare very, very well. But football as it is, sometimes it goes outside, sometimes it goes. And I know here is a difficult area for Kotoko. I know it's a very difficult area for Kotoko, but putting that thing aside, I came with a plan to at least win here. But it didn't come the way I wanted it, so it's football for you.
That is Karim Zito. We'll be heading to Europe shortly, but before that, let's do some news on the continent where South Africa's Ministry of Sports, Arts and Culture has clarified that no formal decision has been made to relocate the 2026 Total Energies Women's Africa Cup of Nations from Morocco to South Africa, following reports sparked by comments from the country's Deputy Sports Minister. In a media statement issued on Sunday, Minister Gayton Mackenzie said the remarks made by the Deputy Minister were misinterpreted and should not be taken as confirmation from South Africa as we await CAF's official confirmation on the issue. Now, heading over to England, where match day 24 of the English Premier League delivered some interesting results. Tottenham Hotspur from a less than ideal first half to rescue a 2-2 draw against Manchester City, tilting the title slightly in favor of Arsenal. Elsewhere in Old Trafford, Manchester United returned to the top four with a thrilling 3-2 victory over Fulham. Liverpool and Chelsea recorded victories in their quest for top four finish as well. League leaders Arsenal maintained their remarkable form with an emphatic 4-0 victory over Leeds United. London boss, that is Mikel Arteta, says the victory sends a strong message to the rest of the league about the team's ambition to win the title.
Well, very, very happy, obviously. A very impressive performance, a very impressive result. And in the context that we've done it, when you about the difficulty of the game and the opponent that we're facing with the recent form and the style of play that they have at the moment, the energy that the stadium brings. And then the fact that after 3 results that didn't go our way in the league, we really wanted to show how much we wanted it. And I think we certainly done that today.
With Arsenal's victory, it opens up a 6-point gap. Meanwhile, Manchester City head coach Pep Guardiola still insists that the title race is wide open.
At the same time, we are there and continue. I know the calendar is what it is, and now we have a semi-final to reach a final next Wednesday and after Anfield and continue. This is what they have to do.
Hi, Pep. Just on the title race in general, you just said there are 14 games to go. I know it's obviously a disappointment today, but do you feel quite optimistic still? Do the players, the group still feel optimistic that we're in touching distance of Arsenal still?
Well, as much the chance is there, the hopes always will be there. So it happened. I know that these type of games always in the past had the way to capitalize, the way to winning, right? And to happen. But yeah, we have difficulties for many things, but the players are coming back, and I saw an incredible good spirit and many things.
Pep Guardiola still hopeful that his Manchester City side can challenge for the title. It's not going to be an easy one with Arsenal opening up a 6-point gap. Manchester United interim coach Michael Carrick has yet to suffer a defeat since stepping into the role some weeks ago. And while a title challenge may be unrealistic, Carrick says qualifying for the Champions League is the club's primary target, a stage United have missed in the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, we're not getting too far ahead of it. I think it's the old answer of really game by game, and I think we can be better than we played today. I think there's a lot more to come from us in different aspects of the game. But again, we've been together 3 weeks, and we're working on things and trying to improve things. And today was about getting through it and what way we needed to do and finding a way. That's 3 in a row. That's good. It's good. We want more for sure, but hopefully we can win games a little bit more comfortable in some ways. But when they do come like that, it kind of feels like more than just a win, and that feeling spreads through so many people.
Michael Carrick, head coach, Manchester United. Let's finish off with the Australian Open. It was the 7th Grand Slam title for 22-year-old Carlos Alcaraz, a history maker as the youngest man to ever complete the career Grand Slam. Alcaraz added the Australian Open title to his trophy cabinet after defeating Novak Djokovic. Now, despite losing the first set to a rampant Djokovic, laser focused on sealing a record-breaking 25th Grand Slam title, Alcaraz rallied to win and confirm his status as the world #1. And here are the first words of Alcaraz after winning the title.
Well, yeah, as you say, it's been a non-stop, since the last point. But it's a great feeling. complete the career Grand Slam was something that was on my mind. Every time that I come in here to Australia, I just made the precision just with my mind into this tournament to try to work as hard as I can and to be as well prepared as I can, to play this tournament and trying to get the trophy. In the previous year, I haven't gone, in a good way, but I'm really happy that I just pushed myself to be better, and finally came this year.
Carlos Alcaraz there, and that brings us to the end of the sports update here on 3FM Sunrise. My name is Mutala Yakubu. There's more sports on all our socials at 3 Sports. GA, don't go nowhere. The show continues after this.
The best in the morning. The best in the morning is on 92.7 Sunrise on 3FM.
Young boy with so many problems.
The Electoral Commission has reiterated its commitment to organizing free and fair elections this December.
How's your week treating you? I'm here to serve you great music tidbits for your at-work listening pleasure.
Rastafari, Rastafari, Rastafari. Our Father, who art in Zion, Kanamawe, Kanamawe, Kanamawe. Oh, turn it up!
Come into the mountain.
Today we're talking big, the NPP and all of its matters. That's why when we were on the reviews, I told you that we relax a bit on it and that we'll get into the conversations proper subsequently. Quite a number of individuals lined up for us to engage in that conversation for you. I'm just going to go for this quick break. When I return, the big conversation here will be live on the 3FM Sunrise. We'll hear from, as well, the aspirant or the candidate who were up in the elections from the weekend. We'll hear from the former president who had something to say. And then the victor, the presidential candidate of the NPP for the 2028 general elections as well, Dr. Alhaji Mahmudu Bawumia as well. He spoke. We'll hear from him and we'll interspace all of the speeches with the experts that we have lined up for you this morning as well for the quick conversation. So let me go for this quick break. Then when I return, we'll get into the conversations.
The Electoral Commission has reiterated its commitment to organizing free and fair elections this December.
How's your week treating you? I'm here to serve you great music tidbits for your at-work listening pleasure.
Rastafari, Rastafari, Rastafari. Our Father, who art in Zion, Kanamawe, Kanamawe, Kanamawe. Otonodo!
His Excellency, the former President of the Republic, Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, His Excellency, the former Vice President, Dr. Alhaji Muhammadu Bawumia, the National Chairman of the party, respected patriots, I congratulate my senior brother and patriot, Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia, on his victory and wish him every success as he leads our party forward. I called him earlier this evening to let him know he has my full support. Most importantly, I thank God for his grace, guidance, and protection throughout this journey. I am deeply grateful for how far he has brought us. The past 4 months has been very heavy, but incredibly rewarding to all of us, especially the MPP. Whilst tonight's outcome is not what I had hoped for, I accept the results with humility, and my resolve remains strong. My heartfelt thanks goes to Ghanaians who opens their doors and hearts to us, to every delegate who believed in this vision and walked the journey with me, to my campaign team, my coordinators, communicators, and thousands of volunteers who gave their time, energy, and belief. I am equally grateful to my family for their patience and prayers, and to the former President, His Excellency John Ejekun Kufuor, and His Excellency Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo for their wisdom and guidance. To my fellow aspirants for a spirited contest, and to the Presidential Elections Committee for overseeing a professional process. Now more than ever, the NPP must stand united as one family. Our collective responsibility is to rebuild trust with Ghanaians, strengthen our structures, and prepare decisively for victory in 2028. Unity, discipline, and purpose must guide our next steps. I remain fully committed, to the ideas and ideals of our party and to the service of Ghana. God bless the new patriotic party, God bless our democracy, and God bless our homeland, Ghana. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's Dr. Brian Champong when he as well delivered his concession speech at the party's headquarters on Saturday. The expectation being that a lot more of such was heard and will be seen from all of them going forward. We will get a bit more in terms of the speeches from the different individuals as well who were present. Remember, we heard from Kennedy Ohene Japan, but I'll bring that back as well as we line up our guests for you this morning for quite the conversation on what to expect in the aftermath of the primaries coming to an end. Engineer Kwabena Japan also spoke. It was very, very brief. Let's take a listen in as well to what he had to say.
I'm really thrilled to be here this evening. This very somber moment with all of us. I identify with all the sentiments expressed by my fellow aspirants. I also want to add that we have a wonderful opportunity to restore the values that animated the formation of this solid party, the MPP. We can be proud of our forebears, that our tradition is the tradition that is responsible for the sustenance of democracy in our country. And together we will unite, and I trust that we'll work hard, as we've always done in the past, right from the polling stations up to the top. Let's work together with a passion and a purpose for the people of Ghana. I am confident that we will earn the trust of Ghanaians. We will earn the confidence of Ghanaians. And in 2028, the elephant will be back. Congratulations to all of you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's Engineer Kwabene Japan as well, who spoke yesterday. Not yesterday, I was on Saturday. On Saturday, the NPP's headquarters. It was a mini rally of some sort, really, where after everything was said and done, the individuals gathered and congratulated the winner, Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia, who emerged victorious. Like I've been telling you, I have quite the guest lineup for you. Dr. Nyaho Tamakro is a statesman, NPP's founding member. Dr. Abdul Jalilu Ateku is a political science lecturer at the University of Ghana. Reverend Father Michael Kobena Akonkweku is a peace and conflict resolution facilitator. So will Professor Kobe Mensah as well join us, and then Stephen Osea Chiao is a political marketing expert as well join us. And so for every one of them, the conversation will be different, really, in terms of what it is that we're looking forward to hearing from them. But let me take it back to Kennedy Ohene Japan again, so we can hear from him as to what he had to say following the outcome of the elections from Saturday.
Officials of the EC, security agencies, the Presidential Election Committee,
the former
media,
President Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, the flag bearer elect Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, all the aspirants present, party chairman, general secretary, minority leader, chairman, the council of elders, and MPP party. I stand before you to pledge my support, also to accept the results declared by EC. The delegates have spoken, and I want to plead with my supporters that they should stay calm and respect the results and help all of us to work together to win 2029 or 2028 election. I want to advise my supporters. First, I want to thank you, but I advise that in election, you can win and you can lose. So if you lose, you have to accept it in good faith. So let's all of us throw our support to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the flag bearer. And all I say is, MPP, we need unity in the party. But unity comes with respect. We have to respect each other's views. That is all I want to say tonight. So congratulations to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and MPP. Thank you.
That's Kennedy Ohene Japan. We'll hear from the eventual winner, Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia, now. But do we have anybody yet, or we'll proceed? Right. So let's hear from Dr. Bawumia, who emerged victorious. He spoke for a very long time, 15 minutes, and we'll hear bits and pieces of his speech as well and then we'll get onto the phone lines pretty shortly.
Former flag bearer aspirants, fellow Cuprodites, ladies and gentlemen. I want to start by thanking God Almighty for making this day possible. I also want to thank all the tens of thousands of delegates who voted in today's election. Officials of the EC, security agencies, the Presidential Election Committee, the media, and the generality of the Ghanaian people. Your vote, your work, your coverage, and your general following have all contributed to getting us thus far. It is with a deep sense of pride and humility that I address you this evening, following what has turned out to be a blistering battle for the flag bearership of the new patriotic party. To secure anything precious in this life, we must be prepared to fight the hard battles, prepared to work hard, and be prepared to withstand difficult circumstances. I am glad that you and I have successfully fought the hard battles, worked hard, and withstood the difficulties that came our way. And tonight, victory is for all of us. I am grateful. The MPP is grateful. To you all, and Ghana is grateful. I need to reiterate from the outset, our tradition is for all of us. I am grateful. The MPP is grateful. To you all, and Ghana is grateful. I need to reiterate from the outset, our tradition has an enviable history of selecting leaders largely based on the mood of the party. At any point in time, our party unites around an individual, usually the best bet for national elections and governance. This individual usually emerges meritoriously on account of loyalty and contributions to party growth. It is our members' way of rewarding loyalty, vision, competence, and sacrifice. Our members have done this meticulously and repeatedly. As democratic space setters, we need to respect the wisdom and the decisions of our members represented by the delegates. It matters not which side you supported. Winners and those who didn't win at this particular time, we are in this together. All true and committed members of the great MPP need to embrace this civilized and time-tested way of selecting flag bearers. Political parties are assemblies of like-minded people. Whilst we may believe that our ideas are the best, we should be prepared to accept that there might be other ideas that may serve the larger interest of the party. As it is often said, after competition comes cooperation, and our expectation that all party members will apply themselves to this principle. It cannot be the case that one's support for the party is maintained only when those we support lead. I want to stand on this energy to make a passionate appeal to all members of the great MPP to let go of whatever reservations they have and come together. We need every idea, every voice, and every piece of advice to help us preserve and protect a proud tradition bequeathed to us by our forebears. Let it not be said anywhere on any day that the party of B.J. Darochi, Peter Alagete, Odoy Sykes, J. Kufuor, Professor Mike Okwe, C.K. Tedham, J.H. Mensah, Aliu Mahama, Nana Adodankwa Akufo-Addo, among other great patriots, could not handle disagreement as natural ways of stating alternative positions. I have the duty to the delegates who stood by me and to the delegates who found worthy ideas in my brothers who contested me. My election today communicates a broad-based appeal across the party, and I need to draw directly on that capital to unite the party as one of the crucial steps to winning power in 2028. I call on all to join in this bounden duty. After all, as the Akans say, prayer say uyi bako ana ebu ukaboma emu. United we stand, and divided we fall. As we embark on this crucial journey to rebuild our brand and reposition our party for electoral glory, let me remind you, dear party members, that whatever we have gone through during the past few months is not new in the politics of Ghana. We have fellow crocodiles. The data shows that anytime the MPP is solidly behind the chosen flag bearer, the Ghanaian voter returns the favor by voting massively for our usually superior and life-changing policies and programs. We cannot therefore fail ourselves or Ghanaians. On this crucial point, I will undertake targeted engagements to revitalize our party, speaking with all members. This includes visits to some of our respected elders who for various reasons feel aggrieved. Every voice matters. Every opinion is worth considering, and every suggestion is vital to building a formidable strategy. To the youth of our party, the outcome of this contest rightly belongs to you. We will not be at the helm of affairs forever. The future of our party rests on your energy, dedication, and desire to see a vibrant political vehicle. Anytime the youth groups in the party rise, the great elephant soars. To the millions of our supporters and sympathizers nationwide, I know some of you refrained from voting in the last election because you were unhappy with several issues. We have started the process of reform. I assure you, Mahmoud Bawumia as flag bearer will do everything to ensure that the MPP listens more to you.
That's the NPP flag bearer, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, speaking from a podium to mini rally where he was announced winner of the party's presidential primary. I'm happy to say that I've been joined on the phone by Dr. Abdul Jalilu Atek, who is a political science lecturer at the University of Ghana. Doc, it's my first time speaking to you, and so I'll say a happy new year to you and a happy new month as well. Thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much, Mawina.
I believe you followed the process of elections, and even before the elections, the period of campaigning and all what it is that we saw play out in the NPP's race. There's been a lot of talk about peace, rallying together, and working towards election 2028. But the big question that remains for everybody, both in and out of the party, is how does the NPP heal? All right? How do they heal? How do they forgive? And how do they reconcile ahead of their journey for election 2028? How do they do that outside of the flowery speeches we heard from the podium on Saturday?
Thank you very much, Mawina, and then good morning to the listeners, the viewers, everyone. Talking about how the MPP will heal, I think that the MPP has an internal mechanism for conflict resolution, building relationships, right? And I think that in my view, over the years, they have not been able to make effective use of that. And their failure to do that has affected the party over the years, especially after the 2016 election victory. Some pre-election surveys that we conducted and then post-election survey 2020 election, you can clearly see the cracks within the party. It was across the country. I travel many constituencies in North. Ebono, East Bono, Ahafo, and other colleagues. The whole country. Several constituencies. You realize that you could find maybe the parliamentary candidate and his team. You could find the maybe the chairman and another group. Sometimes, in some cases, three groups within the same in one constituency. Right. So that has affected them in 2020 elections, and that is why they dropped from 169 to 137. So someone said that maybe from there they could have done something about it, but unfortunately, I didn't see any serious reconciliation, right, moving after the 2020 elections, okay? And then somewhere they have to have the flag bearership election, and because of this internal rift and all that, one key person withdrew from the race and subsequently resigned as Alan Kojo Chiramanten, right? And when these things happen, you will find it means that they will still be, instead of fighting with you, this time they will be fighting against you because they have a candidate in that election, right? So I think that they are failure to do that. So from 137 again, they moved to one. Now they have 88 seats. So it means that there is something, serious within the party, talking about building relationships, which they've not been able to do. So in my view, your question, what should they do? I think that they need to activate their conflict resolution mechanism, try to rebuild the party, because there are dissenting forces, several of them. And if you, over the years, even we saw it in the 2024 election, there were some key figures in the MPP, the elders of the party, who somehow fell along the line, right? And if you listen to their commentaries, you realize that they became more critical of their own government than even the opposition. If you look at Professor Boateng, Kennedy, Arthur Kennedy, several of them, key persons, all right? So that should tell you that there is something wrong with the party in terms of their relationship. And I think that is, now that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has been returned as the candidate for the party, I think this is an opportunity for them to go deeper by building relationships using the internal mechanism at the national, the regional, and then the constituency level, so that it can travel across the length and breadth of the country and then build this relationship so that they will have a united force to prosecute the 2028 election agenda.
Right. In talking how they can do this, there's also the bit about appreciating what this race has been and the challenges that have come forth from it. In appreciating what the elections has been, it is not lost on anybody that the NPP opened themselves up or cut themselves deeply in terms of how the campaigns went, from the commentary, from some of the other individuals, particularly the person who came second on election day on Saturday, at some point openly captured on video describing the eventual winner as a liar, amongst many other things. Some say has cut them far too deeply, and possibly a bandage or trying to heal that wound, it will not be healed in time for elections 2028.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely correct, right? The party has allowed, this thing to go on for a very long time, okay? Some key figures, right, members of parliament could say anything, right? They could insult, they could do anything. So that is what some of the youth have come to learn, right? Because maybe when you insult, when you throw mud, when you lie against opponents within, it makes you popular, all right? So, and they have allowed this thing to go on. Other than that, if the party had been very critical of this, even some of the candidates who even contested, they should have cracked the whip, because you have the constitution, right? So if people are doing things, if you go about telling Ghanaians that one of your key persons capable of leading this country is a liar, right? Now that you have elected that person to be the flag bearer, are you coming back to tell Ghanaians that it's not true, he wasn't a liar, he wasn't this, he wasn't that? So that is why political parties must be mindful, or politicians must be mindful of some of their utterances, using intemperate language, vulgar language, anything at all. It doesn't, because when you throw certain things, that means that you are arming the opposition party, because that is what you said your candidate is. So when the opposition are coming, they are only just coming to amplify what you yourselves have said about your candidate, and I think that is not. So sometimes it becomes very difficult, having done all this, and now you have elected him. Now you stood on the same platform, pledging your support that is the same party and all that. What about those things that you have said about this candidate? So is there sincerity in what you do, right? So sometimes it becomes very difficult. Even the victor, the expectation is that the victor will call all other parties, come together and let us work together. But sometimes there may be some suspicion because of some of these things that had happened over the period. The suspicion, the mistrust. So it becomes, so you realize that the unity becomes something. Even though, the flag bearer pledged that he's going to do everything to bring everything on board. But it's not going to be easy. But that is what is necessary for them to do anyway. So that's why I said politicians must be mindful of the type of words that, they spew out. It's not everything, right? So sometimes, it should be competition of ideas rather than competition of
issue that you've raised, these flouting of party regulations and the nature in which the campaign went, left the party more fragmented than it should be. In fact, even when we do a breakdown of how the voter pattern went, we're beginning to see what looks like 3 blocks, if we can call it that. And so it leaves many asking, is the NPP more fragmented now and looking to close their ranks on more fragments they had in 2023 after that primary than they have now?
Yeah, I think if you look at this, the situation now, it's like whatever happened in 2020, like I indicated, that basically the fragmentation is there, it's still there, right? It's still there. And that is why I have indicated that they need to work in order to address those issues, right? Because you don't move into a major election with, a fragmented front. Now you have, the champion. They want to bury them. That it's something that happened in every party. But sometimes you look at the magnitude of, the impact, right? So basically, if over the years, you realize that your fortunes have been dwindling in terms of parliamentary, now even presidential vote, right? So if you look at across, so you realize that, parliamentary from 169, now you have 88 seats. From presidential, right? The first time President Mahama won was, he has, 50.7%. Then in this particular election, about 57%. That's very huge. Okay, so I think that there is something within the party that I think the party is not doing much to be able to address, and they need to address that. So the fragmentation is still there. So in my view, I think that they have to work at it to be able to address it, so that at least going into this election, which is going to be difficult for them anyway, but there's no doubt about it, it's going to be a difficult election. So it is, but that's why it is really important that they are able to build, their relationships, to reconcile the forces, so that they will, they will prosecute the 2028 election agenda as one unit.
Right, Doc. I'm going to ask you this last question on the traditional blocks, but let me just mention that Dr. Nyawo Tamaklo is a statesman and also a founding member of the opposition New Patriotic Party. He's joined us on the phone lines as well as we talk the NPP and the outcomes from the weekend. But Doc, on to that final question I have, having to do with the traditional blocks as we've known for a very long time for many students of Ghanaian politics, particularly politics in relation to the NPP. After 2008, the suggestion was that there was the Kufuor bloc, and then there was the Nanado bloc in terms of representation within the NPP. Where are these blocks now as we speak, and who now controls the NPP as a party as we have it?
Well, indeed, yes. During President Kufuor's time, and when he was even leaving, there were, people from that bloc somehow supported, like Alan Chiramantin. Alan Chiramantin at the time was seen as the candidate from that bloc, right? But unfortunately, things did not pan out well. And when Nana Akufo-Addo won, the expectation or what they have done was to address this internal issue by bringing people from the other side, right? But unfortunately, those cracks were still remain. They could not actually address that. Okay, so that is why you find some, like I talked about the fact that some of them fell along the way and became very critical of Nana Akufo-Addo's government. It's because, they could not. Right? Because once you are elected as the leader, now the responsibility or the onus lies on you to draw all the other forces, and then you sit down with them so that you move along with them. But if you decide to sideline them, you form, going with your own people, definitely, if you go and things are difficult, right? So it becomes, and that has been the challenge for them. So even in this election, when you realize, you see Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia contesting the first time, it wasn't as, that was Nana Akufo-Addo's vice president, right? It was the president of the Republic of Ghana, and then that was his candidate. So what about the other? So it's like some people have been outside the government. So it's like you have a government, right, formed by a political party. Then there are some people who are in opposition within the same party. That's how I see. So it's a kind of opposition within the same party. It's because of the failure to reconcile the forces within. All right. So those forces are still there, right? Those forces are still there, also expecting that maybe a candidate other than from Nana Akufo-Addo's side will win. Okay, so if that had happened, for example, if Brachampo had won the election, you would have realized that he will be. I mean, even though you see him as someone who's a pro Akufo-Addo, but the expectation is that maybe they would prefer someone who is not pro Akufo-Addo, other than someone coming from any other block from that, because they've been outside that government for a very long time. So those cracks still remain. The pro Kufuor side, most of them are still there. All right. So expecting that maybe a different candidate other than Nana Akufo-Addo side. But if he had been able to reconcile these forces in his first government, even in so that would have even made the party stronger. But unfortunately, they could not do that. And that is still a major issue they need to contend with.
Doc, I appreciate you speaking to us this morning. Dr. Abdul Jalilu Ateku is a political science lecturer with the University of Ghana. Doc, I appreciate you greatly, and I'm sure we'll pick up the conversation again. Let me get into the other phone lines right now. Dr. Nyawonya Hutamaklu, like I mentioned, is also with us on the phone line. He's a statesman and also is a founding member of the NPP. From time to time, the party has had cause to want to challenge this particular assertion that we continue to describe him. But, Doc, I appreciate you. Good morning to you. I trust at all as well.
Good morning.
Doc, I believe you followed and monitored the process of campaigns and what have you until election, and then a final victor declared on Saturday. Would you say you're satisfied with the process and then the outcome which we saw play out on Saturday?
Well, I think firstly there's one thing we must get clear. In court, the election was largely peaceful. But you ask yourself, peaceful in what way? An election, a democratic party like NPP, in an election where we had overwhelming numbers of police and military. So you ask yourself, without these security agents, what would have happened? Now, secondly, it is important for us to know that these parties played a key role in the democratic dispensation that we are enjoying now. Unfortunately, most of the people who did that human job are no more living. Now, I said right from the beginning that the top-bottom approach to me will not work. Now we have finished electing the flag bearer. Now how is he going to approach the reorganization of the party right from the grassroots to the top? You ask yourself one question. How can the present National Executive convince the ordinary person and tell him go this way or that way? In fact, there are a lot of numerous issues that have to be addressed. But I think the most important thing at the moment is how the party can unify and also bring back discipline to the party.
Do you believe Dr. Bawumia can unite the party as he stated on the podium from the weekend?
No, also unity can only come when you have fairness. Without fairness and honesty, there won't be any. I repeat that. As someone said something a few years back, without fairness, definitely there can't be peace. And these people have battered themselves in such a way. I time I asked myself, what exactly is going to happen after that particular election? Well, elections have taken place. We've seen the result. To me, the most important thing now is how to get the party together. And reconciliation will be a problem. We had all sort of insults and name calls left, right, center. And one thing too that I think damaged this party, and I was surprised a lot of people probably didn't talk about it or not. The role that the national executive took by coming out openly to support one particular candidate. And indeed, even members of parliament. So that will tell you straight that line has been drawn, and factionalism was what was created, and believe me, that is the main thing that has to be sorted out.
It's important you mention that factionalism and what have you, because in the aftermath of Dr. Bawumia emerging victorious, already the rumor mill has begun to churn out some details as to some of the persons on social media in a scam suggesting that persons who did not support the candidature of the vice president, possibly as MPs, could lose their seat. We've heard very wild suggestions as to a change possibly in leadership in Parliament, amongst many other things. What will be the advice to Dr. Bawumia at the present? Yes, he made the speech asking that everybody puts their hand together for victory to emerge, but even monitoring on social media, the different camps have continued to bicker after all of their candidates have said we concede and we want to work towards victory.
I want to mention about, I think let me talk about that first before I come down to Dr. Bawumia's issue. Now, what we are hearing now about individuals who probably didn't support a particular person and their fate as far as Parliament is concerned had happened recently. It happened. I mean, the last election, 2024. If you watch carefully, the 80 MPs that came and kicked against Oforiatta maintenance as a finance minister in Parliament, and they called a press conference headed by Atiaku, whom I caution that they have to be careful, because they are not careful. Akufo-Addo, as I knew, would definitely talk him out of it. And he did, within hours. Now, most of these gentlemen, if you look at the records carefully, you can see that more than 70% of them did not return to the Parliament House. It was a planting, and they were all dropped for challenging the authority. So this is where I get worried always about our party. Because the party from the word go was not like that. You have a right. There was what we call internal democracy. We don't have internal democracy now. And if Bawumia really wants to unite this party, then first and foremost, he should sit and respect the party structure. And discipline is first thing that is showing itself. Factionalism is also there. And then he should look careful at what we call leadership politics. Because we are going to have elections right down from the bottom, which should have been done earlier on, to the top. Now it's going to be from the top to the bottom. And he can't tell me that he cannot get involved with it. Well, now you are going to deal with the grassroots, those who will make you a king or dethrone you. Now, here, They have to look at character, competence, courage, and conviction. And not just money, or what I term temporary or temporal popularity. These things will not work. Bawumia has to be very, 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 very strict. He should call a spade when it's necessary. And he should show for the first time that he is now in the driving seat. That is the only way this party can come together. That's all that I have to say.
And for him being his own man, it was a question I was asking Dr. Ateku as to the blocks, whether or not the Akufo-Addo or the Kufuor blocks is existing still. What is very present for all of us to see is that the Akufo-Addo block has continued, and one of the many things which he carried into that 2024 elections was the extension of President Akufo-Addo. Do you see him as being a man able to wield his own influence and chart his own path towards elections 2028?
Well, I believe strongly Bawumia can do that. He is serious about it. Now, normally, in our politics here, in Africa in particular, when we are in position, we don't want to leave. You come there, both head of states and ministers and whatever you call them, they are appointed or elected and will stay put, even if they have failed, or even if they disagree with a particular policy. I have said time and again that when Bawumia fell as economist, he wasn't given the opportunity to do the work that is expected of him as an economist. To me, the best thing he should have done was to take his pen and resign. And believe me, he would have had enormous respect in this country and beyond. But the culture of resignation is not in our case. It's unfortunate. Even when leadership fails, particularly the president himself, when he fails, he won't take his pen and resign. Just yesterday, I was listening to politics in England, where a man who put together, Lord Marsden, or whatever he's called, he put together the Labour Party to come into power for continuous 13 years, having been accused of one or two things. A man who has been a minister before, a man who has been, in fact, until recently he was the ambassador of the UK in Washington, D.C., until he was dropped with the same problem. He just yesterday resigned from the party entirely. You see, that particular culture, until we get it in this country can never go forward. That is why people come to leadership role. They steal in the national corporate, and yet they have the guts to defend themselves. We are seeing it happening right now. And I personally would like to tell this present government that if they fail to hold to account those who stole our money, believe me, they will have a big problem with the people of this country. Because that is the number one thing ordinary Ghanaians are looking for. If they don't see it, I'm telling them today. Because we can't continue like that. People come and steal $1 million. And even the finance minister refusing to come and at least answer questions how he used our money. And it appears government is quite over it. I don't care what anybody says. What I'm saying is the fact. Then we are getting to a situation where the people will be fed up with the political class. And what happens after that? Those who are historians can talk better about it.
Right. Doc, one final question in terms of the former president. In fact, the two of them, interestingly, did not turn up at the party's headquarters to vote for any of the candidates in the primary. What do you make of that decision to abstain, particularly for former President Akufo-Addo, not turn up to vote, but was there to deliver a speech and urge for unity and for the party to head towards the 2028 elections and win?
Well, I don't know. They might have their reasons, but me personally, it wasn't good for democracy. They should have been seen, at least at the various voting centers, voting. And that would have encouraged a lot of people. Your leadership always sets an example. What will happen if we have national elections now? And the ordinary Ghanaian says, I'm fed up. I have no more faith in the political class. So what they did was exactly what the ordinary person will look at. That's all.
Right then. I appreciate you joining us this morning, Doc.
It's a pleasure.
Right then. That's Dr. Nyaho Tamaklu. He's a statesman and a founding member of the New Patriotic Party, joining us this morning as we continue to dissect a lot more of what transpired from the weekend in relation to the opposition New Patriotic Party, who have their flag bearer in the person of Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia, ready to lead towards elections 2028. The 3FM Sunrise, and we're getting into our next aspect of the conversation. Thankfully, we've been joined by Reverend Father Michael Kobna Akonkwe, who is a peace and conflict resolution facilitator. He will help us talk how the NPP, as a party, deal with the factionalism we saw, and to a certain extent, the pure reduction to gutter behavior, politicking, which was associated with the largest opposition party in the country. Reverend Father, the peace of the Lord be with you. Thank you very much for joining us this morning.
It's my pleasure indeed.
I think the question really is simple. I was just trying to go through and put together or piece together some of the things that we saw at some point it was down to plain bigotry, really, in terms of how the elections played out, from their respective camps taking nasty shots at each other. Now there's an eventual winner, and the question is, how do they come together, really, to hail properly for elections 2028?
Right. Well, I think that while we might be uncomfortable with the adversarial nature of democratic politics, we shouldn't be surprised, because in the end it's a competition which looks forward to selecting an individual or a group of people. What it means is that if a group of people win, another group of people lose. If a certain individual wins, another individual also loses. Whilst those who win will rejoice, you would expect that those who lose will feel embittered, and of course, what would follow would be the natural feeling of discomfort, being let down, and all of that. But what we're talking about is what happened before or during the elections, the name calling, and bringing out some debt about each other and all of that. I think that if we understood all of that in the context of the nature of the game, then whilst we would rather it didn't happen, we would not be surprised. So I think that is where we should begin from. We should take away the surprise factor, and then deal with the substantive matter and ask whether it is the way we want to go. Because this thing happens elsewhere in the world. We've heard how names are called, in the U.S., in Great Britain, everywhere. But the question should be, is that the way to go? And I think that for at least those of us from this side of the world, where there's a lot of premium put on the dignity of the person, respect for each other, putting value on our common, destiny and our shared values, this shouldn't be the way to go. So, well, it has happened.
Right.
Unfortunately, it has happened. But I would say the way to go is to see how those who have won will be magnanimous, those who have lost to be able to take the bitter pill with a bit more of strength, and then see that both those and those who have lost are not bigger than the parties that they want to represent.
Right.
I think that is the way to go.
Who should do the reaching out more? I ask this because, and I know you're dealing with the aspect of peace, and so you do not get into the nitty-gritties of the politics and who is who and all of that. But if there's one thing I can recall from all of the events from the past, particularly in relation to the NPP, was that when the 5 candidates were signing the peace pact, Kennedy Japan and Dr. Baumia were not seen, I can confidently say they weren't seen eye to eye in terms of their demeanor and how they approached even that entire peace pact signing. Yesterday as well, it wasn't same. Who should be doing the reaching out as they seek to consolidate and unite amongst the two? Or should we be getting an elder doing this and seeking to bridge the gap which exists? Because it's very clear and very obvious for all to see.
Well, I didn't pay attention to the body language, but yes, I've heard the commentaries about how things panned out. But I think that what I've heard is the speeches of both men. Honorable Kennedy Japan, I think was quite decent in his his speech after the election to concede and to congratulate his brother. I think when the former vice president and now the leader of the MPP, took the podium, and after that, I think in his home, he also was magnanimous and conciliatory.
Right.
So I think that there's the goodwill from all camps for the sake of the country and for the sake of the party to reconcile. So I wouldn't say who should do it first, but I think that both men understand the value of their words and their actions, especially after the elections are done. That when they speak, they speak to bring on board some constituencies within their own party and within the country, and so it is important that their words make for peace and reconciliation. It is important that their posturing make for the regrouping of their political party and for their own political fortunes going forward. So that would be my thoughts on the matter. I think that they both understand the value of their actions and their words, and I hope that they will act and speak accordingly for the sake of their own reputations and for the good of their own political party.
And for Dr. Bawumia, who is the flag bearer of the NPP now. Yes, the party says that the chairman is the leader of the party, but he is in a position of immense power amongst many other things. What should he do?
Well, I think what he should do is what he has said he will do. That he will unite the party, and to enhance the fortunes of his party going forward. And if he does that, if he unites the party by word and deed, and brings on board all those who, because they were unsuccessful or that their candidates were unsuccessful, feel peeved and disheartened, he was able to bring all of them on board and to understand his mandate as uniting the party and bringing his party closer to their own aspirations of regaining power, then that would be a good job, well executed. So I would say that's what he should, aim to do, precisely to execute what he says he would do, to unite the party and to enhance their fortunes. I think that is what any leader of a political party should aim at doing. And if he did that, I'm sure his party will be grateful to him.
Should we, for instance, as part of seeing what it is that he will do, opt to make one of the individuals who fiercely contested him a running mate? Will that serve as the ultimate course of action, which says that this is a man who wants to put the party together and unite them?
See, in the end, that would be his decision to make, of course, pursuant to his consultation with the party elders or all those who will need to advise him for the good of their party going forward. So I think I'll leave that to him. But merely as a student of politics, what I would say is that whoever chooses a running mate chooses them because they believe, one, that they are the candidates who would pair with them to make their fortunes increase. Two, that they would have a certain appeal, not only with their base but with the wider Ghanaian population. but also somebody who, in the event that the presidential candidate is not available, would be ready to take up the reins of the leadership of the country. So I am sure that Dr. Mahmoud Baumia understands these dynamics and will employ all the necessary variables and the decision-making processes to look for one he believes will be good for all of this. If that happens to be one of those who have contested and done very well and good for him and for his party. If not, well, I would have to respect that he has understood what his task is and then made a decision, pursuant to that particular call.
Right. Just finally on the supporters, because we've had the leaders of the various camps speak to the fact that I concede defeat and what have you, but on social media and on other platforms, the animosity continues to exist. What will be the message to them, the supporters?
Well, if I was preaching, I would say, I'll tell them a house divided against itself cannot stand. But now that we're talking about peace, let us say that the value of peace and unity is the strength to forge ahead. So disunity and animosity is a deficit.
Right then, Reverend, appreciate you. That's Reverend Father Michael K. Kweku speaking to us this morning. Rev, I'm sure we'll talk again soon.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you very much.
That's Reverend Father Michael K. Kweku speaking to us this morning as well on the fortunes of the NPP, particularly on the subject matter of healing, unification, and the going forward for the party after the weekend. Who should be extending the olive branch? He says that the comments from all of the individuals suggest a willingness to smother and smoothen the pathways towards peace and reconciliation. So it's all the good, and it doesn't necessarily have to take an individual wanting to do that on behalf of anybody.
Do the Muhammad dance. Give me that kufado.
The Electoral Commission has reiterated its commitment to organizing free and fair elections this December.
How's your week treating you? I'm here to serve you great music tidbits for your at-work listening pleasure.
Rastafari, Rastafari, Rastafari. Our Father, who art in Zion, Kanamawe, Kanamawe, Kanamawe. Otonodo!
Coming to the mountains, sight I and I grandpa.
It's time to drive you home in style with great music, the 411 and all your favorite songs, what's happening around town, and so much more.
And in the headlines today, the two leading political parties have been addressing the public on allegations of corruption. The Black Stars coach has unveiled his squad for the upcoming game.
As we talk, the NPP.
Do the Muhammad dance. Give me that.
Mensah is a political communication consultant That's a cap he's wearing today. I'll leave out the government position today, and then we'll get into the conversations. Prof, good morning to you. Happy New Year. I don't think we've spoken this year, even though
no, we haven't spoken. Good morning.
I should
and Happy New Year to you too. I'm sure you are pumping up for the new year.
Yes. I'm pumped, actually, pumping myself for the new year. It's already started as well. I'm sure you've been monitoring and you followed through as well all of the conversations from the weekend and what have you. In terms of what we've seen, I just want to pick general thoughts from you for starters, then perhaps we'll get into the conversations proper.
Excellent. All right. Thank you so much for that. I mean, I think that, yes, generally the elections went on well. Clearly, there hadn't been any extreme, kind of disappointment in terms of the party's, architecture, in terms of the entire party. Of course, the individual contestant might be disappointed here and there, but it looks like the party itself is happy with, what has just happened. So, broadly speaking, you would say that the NPP has done well. However, I have some kind of reservations as to why they chose the kind of format that they chose, for a simple reason. I mean, if you listen to Nana B, who actually claims to have suggested the early, flag bearership race for the MPP, on a simple reason that it is better for them to do it so that they can resolve any disgruntlement, before the party goes into the election. I thought that particular, underpinning or that particular rationale is a flawed rationale. I thought that it's a catch-22, and I thought that is what we usually say false economy. Why am I saying that? At least you have about 5 elections to run, flag bearer race, but before that, you're supposed to have a polling station executive elections, you have regional executive elections, you have constituency level executive elections, you have national executive elections before you come to the flag bearership race, right? Now, each of these elections, surely you're going to have a certain disgruntlement, all right? Now, the general rule of good practices these days in any managerial situation is bottom-up approach, all right? Bottom-up approach. Now, in their wisdom, they thought that it would be good to do top-down, which I think in many spheres of management, whether it's political management or commercial management or social management, people are shunning top-down for bottom-up. But they thought that in their wisdom, top-down is better for them. Okay, granted that it is, and it would resolve the kind of, thing that they anticipate. But if you're going to organize polling station elections, then constituency level, then regional, then national, all these levels of elections are going to come with themselves a certain level of disgruntlement, or disenchantedness, or some disquiet in the party. And certainly they're going to be closer to the elections. If I should ask them the question, would you like a disgruntled top, or you would like a disgruntled base closer to the election? I would choose a disgruntled top because it's easy to put them or to call them on the table and to resolve. When you have a disgruntled base towards an election period, you're going to have pockets and pockets of disgruntled base across the country. Which one would you choose? So the wisdom on which they did this, unless, of course, they know why they did it, for particular reasons other than the opportunity to resolve their differences before the election, I think it's a very, very strange thing to say. So yeah, that's my observation in
and I think we've even begun already the rebrand conversation to an extent. But let me also get onto the other phone lines as well, because we've been as well joined by another political marketing expert here on the 3FM Sunrise, in appreciating what the NPP can do in terms of a rebrand for itself. Stephen Osei Achiang is a political marketing and strategic communication analyst with the University of Education, Winneba as well. Ms. Achiang, I appreciate you joining us as well this morning.
All right, thank you so much, and good morning. I am into strategic communication. Yes, and political. Yes.
Right. Perhaps let me start off the conversation proper with you as to, we've seen who the NPP has selected. Yeah. If there's anything, I like to make it very practical in terms of the reactions in the aftermath of his selection on social media, where the NPP supporters are excited and saying they are going to bring him back, amongst many other things. And Ghanaians, some persons are saying that, look, we haven't forgotten who he is, what administration he was a part of, amongst many other things. It presupposes there is a challenge, or there's a task ahead for the NPP and Dr. Bawumia in rebranding for elections 2028. Talk to us as to how they surmount that particular challenge.
Right, thank you. I want to say a good morning to the good people of Ghana, and then your listeners, and then a good morning to my Vice Chancellor of the University of Education, and my constituents at the university and the staff. And so I believe he was the one on the line.
Yes. It's Professor.
Yes. So a very good morning to Prof. Yes, they've been able to finish their work. I think I was listening to Prof very well, and then it appears I share most of the same sentiments with Prof. The disgruntled, they have a lot of disgruntled people within the MPP at the moment. And when, Dr. Bawumia has won. I was watching a specific video this morning where he was talking about the fact that there are issues on the ground, and then he is going to personally get himself involved in making sure that they bring everyone together for the task ahead. And that, I'm saying this to buttress what Prof mentioned, that how will you be able to solve the issues on the ground where you have a lot of people involved, and then at the top you have just a few small number of people to actually take care of. I also personally, I was thinking about this top-down approach instead of the bottom-up approach. And also, of course, that one could only be justified, in my view, after the 2028 elections, as to whether it is really going to help. Now, let's know that those who voted for this very election, this 31st, are the same people who voted in 2023. If I'm wrong, please, you just let me know. But if you're looking at the same constituents, the same delegates who voted in 2023, and they are the same people who voted in 2026, then if people are disgruntled, they are still there. They are still disgruntled. And the former president mentioned that now that the elections are over, all the factions to come together. It means that they appreciate and they have accepted that there are factions.
Right.
But how do you solve these factions from the top? You need to start solving them from the base. Now, if you look at the votes very carefully, Dr. Bawumia, his votes, he only lost about probably almost 8,000 votes, if I'm right. You are just opposing the 2023 votes of over 118,000 votes to 110,000 votes. Now, it means that the same number of people voted. They have not changed.
Right.
Yes, they've not changed. So that should tell you that, then there is a big task ahead. And I agree. I agree with the candidate for MPP, Dr. Bawumia, that he knows he has a lot of work to do and they need to come together. But is it going to be as simple as it is? Yes, the big five in the other four people who contested him are all saying that let's come together and work. But if I've watched some of the videos from some of these, the background of some of these conceding statements,
right?
And then you could hear from the back that no, we are not going to agree. And I do a lot of social media because of my area of expertise. So
You listen to the people on the ground, and in one video, someone says that, oh, the delegates, you have gone to do the same, you've gone to create the same mistakes. When the time is due for us to vote, come and tell me who to go and vote for. If you can, I know what to do to you.
Right. So for you, yes, there is that challenge as to the but like you say, the individual has been selected already.
Yeah, he's been selected. Yes.
So how do they begin to mold a fresh image for him?
Now, as I said, I'm happy that he himself has stated that he's going to get himself involved in it, but it's not about him alone. He's not the only person to do it. Now he needs the right people to advise. In one of the statements by Kennedy Japan, when he considered, he made a statement on 3FM. I looked at it on your social media handle, and I want to read what he said. And I'll read that of Dr. Bainichampo. So I'll start with Dr. Bainichampo. He said, unity, discipline, and respect must guide our next steps. And I'll read that of Honorable Kennedy Japan. He says that he pledges his support to Dr. Bawumia and accept the results. We need unity in the party. And remember, the unity has still been mentioned by Dr. Bainichampo. He goes further to say that by unity comes with respect for each other's views. You realize Dr. Bainichampo also mentioned respect. But the Kennedy Japan said that the unity you want, you must respect each other's view. Right. Now, Dr. Bawumia should be able to, he must ensure that he says he's going to create a reconciliation team to do whatever. He must ensure that they are able to accord enough respect to all those people who matter. Kennedy Japan is just an individual. He's just the head or the leader of that particular team. But those under him, those supporting him are also seriously big people who also need to be respected. If Dr. Bawumia and his team, and if the NPP are able to do that, then they are good to go. Right.
Mr. Chan, I appreciate you joining us. Because of time, I'll have to go to Prof on the other line for us to wrap up. Prof, you've given me your general sentiments. Comes the big question of, can the NPP undertake a rebrand between now and 2028? Because they compare what happened with President Mahama to the Bawumia situation and say, if Mahama can do a rebrand and return, Dr. Bawumia can do same. Is that a possibility between now and 2028?
Well, of course, it's a possibility. I mean, clearly, you would have to, do something to put the party in shape. What you have to do is the question. For me, it looks like they are putting the cart ahead of the horse. Why? Because I would have expected them to, have done the base elections before they do the top. Because now you cannot talk about any peace, you cannot talk about any rebranding when you haven't even started conducting the polling station elections. If you start talking about rebranding and you start your rebranding agenda, and then you start polling station elections where your backers are going to ensure that Kennedy Japan's backers, Dr. Brana Champion's backers, Kwabena Japan's backers, Educhum's backers, their photos are removed from the election photo or the photo album for elections in order that they can elect their own people as opposed to Kennedy Japan's people, then have you started or not your rebranding? And nobody can deceive anyone to say that those who ensure that Dr. Bawumia is re-elected would not want to hold the key positions in the party. Whoever wants to become a constituency chairman, who is the backer of Dr. Bawumia, would also want Dr. Bawumia to back them to become the constituency chairman. If Dr. Bawumia says, no, let it be clearly done, or if I should use the word, let us be transparent, etc., and that individual is not the most loved or the most tipped for that position, would not be happy with Dr. Bawumia saying that I ensure that you become the flag bearer. You have to ensure that I become the party chair at the constituency level. That is where the problem lies. There is going to be a lot of disgruntlement because his backers want to hold positions from the polling station to the top, national elections. The same way the Japan's backers haven't lost the top slot, they would want to hold the base. You're going to have a lot of disgruntlement. So that's what I'm saying, that you can't start talking about unity now when you have about 5 or 4 elections, crucial elections down the line. You should make sure that all these elections are held, the disgruntlement are all out there, and then you start working on them. You can start, of course, to sort of solve the disquiet at the top, but you know that you have police station elections to hold, constituency level, regional level, and national level. How are you going to deal with those ones? So for me, they have put the cart ahead of the horse.
Right.
And they're going to face a lot of problems. But of course, they can rebrand. Who says they cannot? They can.
Right.
But they have a tough job because they split or they wheel the thing upside down. And that presents to them a lot of challenges than they would have done if they had done the base elections before the top level elections.
Just on that rebrand, particularly for the person of Dr. Bawumia, and what has been a challenge in an identity for him, and I'm sure it's something you appreciate.
I mean, there's a huge
where does he pivot
identity crisis. There's a huge identity crisis for Dr. Bawumia. Don't forget that in terms of messaging, he was highly associated with economic, messaging. Not only did he, obliterate that by moving towards digitalization, which means that he actually sort of created confusion as in his brand identity by just doing that. But also it's been compounded. It's been compounded by the current performance of the administration. The NDC had completely obliterated Bawumia's so-called identity in the economic space and completely obliterated him on credibility space. And so in terms of brand identity, he has almost none. I don't think that the equity of Dr. Bawumia is something to, look out in terms of his positivity. He has a very negative equity. And resolving that becomes even much more challenging because of the performance of this particular administration. And so he needs a lot of work.
Right.
He needs a lot of work, especially to build that brand equity or the brand identity we're talking about.
Right then, Prof, we'll leave it here. I'm sure there'll be a lot more opportunity for us to talk and possibly engage as well. But I appreciate you as always speaking to us.
Thank you.
That's Professor Kobe Mensah speaking to us this morning as well. We're just going to round up with a final aspect of this conversation, the place of God and spirituality, because it's been a subject matter that has quite dominated conversations vis-a-vis what it is that we saw play out from the elections. You may have heard Prophet El Bernard make some very obvious declarations that Kennedy Ohene Japan was going to win. I think even Crosby was telling us a day to the elections, he had stated emphatically that they'd be jubilant because victory was sealed, amongst many other things. 24 hours after that, he's apologized. Yesterday at church, he said he wasn't going to preach. He was going to take some time off the podium, amongst many other things, and seek counseling by himself and seek the face of the Lord. It's brought a lot of people commenting, making some commentary and asking questions. Did he really hear from God? What's the place of religion in politics. Even when he was prophesying and continuing on that tangent, we had Anthony Abeifa Kabu, who's a key aide or in the camp of Dr. Baumia, speak to the fact that, look, these prophecies, sometimes we give them to the pastors so that they declare on our behalf. We've seen a lot of that play out. And so we're just going to ask that really pointed question quickly as to the outcome of what it is that we saw. Dr. Harry Agbenu is the professor of study of religions at the University of Ghana. So I suppose you'll be a prof. Prof, appreciate you joining us as well this morning here on the 3FM Sunrise. It's
Thank you very much, but I'm not a prof.
Okay. So
I am a senior lecturer, retired in the Department for the Study of Religions.
Absolutely.
University of Ghana.
Absolutely. Yeah. So what we saw play out, really, we have a problem on our hands, or it's a case of religion always having a place in politics since time immemorial, and perhaps we have to begin to accept it and have these religious persons identify the role it is that they want to play in our politics.
Yeah, the relationship between religion and politics in Ghana has always been established, because the people who are the politicians are themselves also, to a very large extent, religious. And so it is not a problem at all carrying your faith into your political enterprise. So that relationship will continue to be there. However, how that relationship is managed is the problem we are having. I'm not sure the problem we have on our hands today has to do with religious politicians, but unfortunately it rather has to do with a supposed religious person without any declared political affiliation or ambition. So that's what I would say for now, and probably answer other questions that you may follow up with.
So if that relationship exists, it's been established, why the hue and cry from time to time when we get prophecies like these and they do not play out? Is it a lack of appreciation of that fact? Because now there's a suggestion that some of these are even cooked.
my brother, it is the misuse of religion for political gains that is creating the anxiety among the populace. Religion is supposed to be absolute. Religion is supposed to give us truth that is revealed from God and accepted based on faith. But when truth, the supposed truth, turns out to be falsehood, then it creates anxiety for the people and affects their faith in God, so to speak, or their object of worship. And it's clearly the fact that there are charlatans who are now trying to make themselves popular and also to have some personal gains by trying to commercialize religion. And that is what is creating the problem. The problem is not the prophecy, but the falsity of the prophecy is the problem.
Should we be seeing a learning curve of some sort following what played out from this weekend, just briefly?
That is what is supposed to be, but whether it is going to be is the question, because the greed of the individual will persist. And so, but it's something that we all must learn from, that we should not take the word of so-called religious people for the fact and then act according to those predictions or prophecies, because there is no way to be able to adduce evidence to support those prophecies or not until the prophecies come to pass or they don't come to pass. So that is difficult. So as religious people, we must be cautious and conscious of the activities of some individuals who are using religion as a means of their livelihood and will stop at nothing to continue to, misbehave the way they are misbehaving.
Right. Look, we'll leave it here for want of time, and I'm sure we'll get an appropriate forum for us to pick up this conversation again.
I will be most grateful. Thank you for the opportunity to reach out to your listeners.
Always. We appreciate you, Dr. Agbenu, as well, for speaking to us. That's Harry Agbenu. He's a senior lecturer at the University of Ghana. Just final thoughts, also. They are speaking to your kind. They say you have to.
People do say, God will say that, my son, let me call you. But
why? If he calls you, what's wrong with it?
Oh, if God calls me, what can I say? It's God that is calling me. But I mean, you've spoken to them. They've shared great insights. We wish the MPP all the best in their quest to rebuild, rebrand, and then recapture power. They say, wish them all the best, because like the thing is, we can't have just one proper party. We can't have just.
We need the opposition.
Exactly, to be on top of issues so that they can keep the government on its toes. If they don't, it means we'll leave the playing field for the NDC. They can do whatever they want, and then it is you and I who will be suffering. So wish them all the best. They have a long way to go. This is just the beginning. But the NDC should also learn lessons from the NPP.
Absolutely. That's Noel Crosby Annan with me. Sixer Stone Ulo on production, Corey, the rest of the guys, Eddie, as well as DJ Phil on the ones and twos for us this morning. Christabel Success Trevor started with us at 6 a.m.
Success Trevor.
Is it Trevor or Trevor? Trevor.